I don't think I was so disciplined as a gymnast, but I did actually become a dancer for 10 years after that, and there is quite a huge difference between the discipline as a dancer and the discipline as an actor. I remember the first time I was going on a theatre play after being a dancer. My colleagues came in with cigarettes like 10 minutes later and a cup of coffee and hang out, and I don't mind that today. But I was so frustrated in the beginning because as a dancer you rarely have any money, and you book a room and you have it for 2 hours, so you better make sure you're warmed up when you get there, and you spend every single second in there, right? So it's a different discipline, but you can't really compare. I think I'm just on time now.
Which puts you ahead of many, many others in the field, of course.
It's all about, or to a degree, it's about creating your own room, to take your space when you go in there, because we're all nervous. We all want to do our best. And the first time you do something, you can be so nervous that you fuck it up, right? But if you can focus on, hey, somebody asked me to do this part, that means they saw a quality in me, and that quality is what I'm going to do now, and I know I can do it. So take your space. Insist on your space, even though there's a famous actor there and a famous director there. Insist on your space so you can do your best, and that's all you can do. That I also think it's extremely important that you, after have done all your research and you know how he walked or talked and what he did, you make it your own. Director and the writer has to make it their own. They have to make their own story, because what we're doing here is obviously film. We're not giving a history lesson. Well, I think dualism in a character is important for all actors. We all want to find a dualism. You know, we don't want it to be black or white. We want it to be not 50 Shades of Grey, just at least one. But we want it to be a dualistic thing, right? And if we can't find it, we'll just have to live with that. But we're trying to make it human. I mean, we are human people. Everybody has both sides, right? And we're trying to put that into all our characters and hopefully into our dramas as well. So it's something we're looking for, but we can't always achieve it. But it's definitely a goal. And I've always tried to approach my work in a also civilized manner, in the sense that I'm taking it extremely serious what I'm doing, and really trying to get into the character as fast as I can. But one of the most important things about this job is for me to get out of that character as fast as I can as well. And I think I'll take it serious and try not to be pretentious about it as well. I think that combination is healthy in the long run. But having said that, you will always carry something home from your job. Everybody does that. A good day at work is nice. A bad day at work is terrible, and you bring it back home. And even though it was a fantastic day when we did the church scene, and I was quite drained, but I was also really happy, and I was like fulfilled, because we set our mind to do something, and I think we achieved it. So sad scenes can give you a lot of energy if you nail them. Happy scenes can be terrible and drain you if you don't nail them. So in that sense, yes, I bring it home, but work-wise.
When you feel it's working, doesn't matter how tough a scene looks or how tough emotionally the scene is about, it makes you feel good.
What is your acting process to get into the mindset of these very dark places?
Well, I mean, for some of the characters, the dark places we see is not necessarily a dark place. If we talk about Hannibal, that is definitely not a dark place he's going. He's going to a very bright place. He's one of the most happy characters I've ever played, to be honest. He will go home and whistle every day. So obviously the character is not going to a dark place. And in this case, well, I didn't need that much preparation. The circumstances just takes me in there. Obviously, if somebody spits in your face and nobody wants to talk to you, you don't have to prepare for that. You feel kind of isolated, and we made sure that everybody spit in my face when I came in the morning. No, obviously not. But it becomes that kind of imagination for everyone that I'm over there focusing, and they will stay there. And then we start the scene, unless we're in the beginning of the film where we're all friends. So sometimes when a film is well written, it will pull you in there, and your preparation is not as big.
Obviously, if I'm playing a butcher and you see me in the butcher shop non-stop, I'll have to prepare technically to know what I'm doing. In general, it's all about the script for me. It's all about the director and the script. I take a big pride in the first day we start, we're on the same page, or at least we have been addressing that page in the sense that we know what things we are not agreeing on, but we have confronted it before, so we're not spending a lot of time doing that on set. So for me, it's a couple of months before, just calling each other in the middle of the night with ideas. I think that's my preparation.
You have to be very dramatically engaged with this young person. You know, was there any kind of restraint in that regard? Were you worried about traumatizing this person?
No, not at all. I spent a lot of time with her, like Thomas did. Obviously, they spend a different kind of quality time, like the tutor and the kid, and I spent time like a friend or a father. So we got as close as we could get in those weeks, so she felt extremely comfortable being around me. And for that reason, we could go in and play these characters. And what she was extremely good at was not necessarily acting, but reacting. She would react to everything I did. So if I just gave up my plans and started following her, we were bound to make a great scene because she was so natural and just went for it.
The hardest scene, like most of you will find the hardest, is to do something that's not working, something that's bad. And if not working, you try again and again, you go from left, you go from right, and it's not working, it's just hard. And it can be for technical reasons, or it can because the script doesn't make sense, and you can't persuade the director to change it. And then you're doing your best efforts, and it's not working. For some reason, we do not click together with another actor or three actors. It's difficult. We have to find a way around that. Obviously, there's a couple of scenes in here that are hard to watch, but it's not necessarily the most difficult thing you've ever done in your life. So the hardest scenes I've done was probably fighting a giant scorpion that wasn't really there.
And that scene was, of course, cut from this film.
Yeah,
No.
it's not in here.
As I said previously, when I read the script, I said it was beautiful and heartbreaking, but it was also very frustrating to read, and probably like the same reason you come up with here. We cannot put our anger anywhere. What am I supposed to do? Hit the little girl, hit the woman in the kindergarten, hit my best friend. It's really difficult to get rid of your anger because you understand why they're doing what they're doing.
Just wanted to hit someone, something, right? And I realized, I confronted Thomas with that, and I said, listen, why is she not doing anything? Why is she not? And said, read it again.
And it turned out that he is standing up a lot of times, but in a civilized manner. And the frustration from the audience and from me as a reader was that I wanted something else. I wanted that, as you said, that fury. I wanted it to explode, but it's not realistic. You wouldn't do that. He is confronting the case in a civilized manner right away.
He's up against emotions, which is a battle you're bound to lose. And it's a film about many things, but for me it's a film about how great love, obviously love to your children, can be turned into enormous fear and eventually into enormous hate in an extremely irrational way. But they're all right. Nobody's doing the wrong thing, and that's why it's so difficult to hit anyone. In terms of not standing up and screaming, but who should I? My question is also, who should I hit? Should I hit the little girl? Should I hit the woman who works in the kindergarten? Should I give my best friend a Danish skull? I mean, Glasgow kiss? I don't know. The thing about how I see it is that he does address the problem right away. He goes to the kindergarten and he confronts the woman. His pulse is quite high for a man who's very calm, as angry as he can get at that moment. And then when he understands who the little girl is, he confronts his friend right away. And that's where the door starts closing, and the film takes a different turn. If he was screaming louder, he would have been guilty. If he's totally quiet, he's guilty. If he's right in the middle, he's guilty. He has no winning ticket in this film. So I think that we're addressing one thing that is like fighting emotions in a civilized manner is not going to make you win. And we all probably in here felt when I did do something in a supermarket, we all went, yes, yes. Way to go, finally. But so is that how we want people to react? uncivilized. It's interesting, right? Because we don't get anywhere apparently by being civilized in this film. And a lot of Americans has also been asking the question, why doesn't he find a lawyer? But that is true. And it's interesting because we would never think about it. We would never, ever even dream about it. I mean, the truth will come up in a second, and the police will come, and the truth came out, and he was cleaned. But that was not good enough, right? So finding a lawyer in Denmark means you're guilty.
Taboos are important stuff. Taboos are dramatic. Taboos are something we have to put up in the air and talk about. And so I have never had that conversation with myself that I tend to stop myself in a situation like that. Nope. On the contrary. But I was very keen because I thought it was a beautiful script and a provoking script. I got provoked because I couldn't put my anger anywhere.
But I don't believe it's a film about fighting in a civilized manner or not. In my world, it's a film about our fear of this specific subject. If this man has been accused of robbing a bank, I mean, he will get a pat on the back and say that was cool, you know, and that wouldn't be a problem, you know. But this is a different subject, and we have in a civilized world come to a state where it's I can't take a photo of my kid in a public swimming pool, right? Because 4 other dads will probably kill me because they think I'm doing something else, right? And then in Danish kindergartens, the toilet doors are gone. You can't be alone as an adult on a toilet with a little kid. So this suspicion, I mean, this natural love that exists between people who take care of children and kids, we're making it so stiff and surreal now. And obviously because we want to fight something that we all want to avoid. I mean, there are too many kids being molested in the world, and we know that. So this is not what we're questioning. But a little like in our eagerness to fight terror, should we then do exactly what we didn't want to do to become victims of terror, you know?
I have no plans. I mean, this
5
one is
hour
obviously,
plan?
yeah, 5 hour kind of like. From project to project, I have tried not to think ahead too much. You will always be disappointed, or you will always do something to achieve that goal that you might not be too proud of. I try to do stuff I like doing, and then if I have a career after that, that's good. If not, I'll just be doing stuff I like.
You don't. It doesn't sound like that's your primary goal. Is it chase being a rich man or to be a big giant movie star?
I don't mind having money.
Money's good.
Money's good, but you also have to feel good, you know, throughout the process. I mean, life is what happens when you're busy doing other things, as Lennon said, and it is true. If you're just aiming for something constantly, you'll never be there doing the stuff you like doing, right?
So you still love it as much as?
Some days not. Some days yes. It depends. I mean, sometimes it's hard work. Sometimes it's just a fantastic day, and then you understand why you're doing this.